So we just make ourselves comfortable. We sit with an upright but relaxed posture. Try and balance the body gently rather than keeping it rigid. So there is an alertness, but it's there with a gentle quality rather than a rigid quality. And I think it's good to state in our minds an intention, even if it's the same thing that we usually do, the same intention. It's still nice to remind ourselves what we're doing and while we're here. So we're going to remind ourselves that we're cultivating our capacity for kindness. And that capacity is felt within the body as well. So we're growing that warm sensation in the body. So we've got a larger capacity for kind thoughts, and those kind thoughts are coming with more strength. Often what is holding us back from giving this metta out to the world and limit our own capacity is fear of what would happen if we truly let go to this sensation. Even if we're lying on the floor on our backs meditating, trying to give in to the sensation, we can sometimes feel a slight reluctance to completely let go of tension completely within the body, like we're going to fall off the floor. So we're going to encourage ourselves to be brave, and if we find that tension, we find an element of fear, we can try and give into letting this warm feeling grow. And we do that with alternating between focusing on kind thoughts and focusing on the sensation of the body. So we'll start with a kind thought, an easy object to arouse this sensation. And there's benefits to using a familiar object. There's benefits to changing the object. We can pick something real or something imagined, but just something that's easy to recall kind feelings. So it could be images of kittens or puppies or children playing. We wish them kindness, we wish them happiness, wish them peace, wish them freedom from suffering, freedom from worry. we can then, when we start to feel that warm sensation in our body, we can try and grow that sensation. We can play with it. We can try and expand that warm feeling. We can try and grow its intensity, but it's nice to play to see if we direct our intention, we can actually influence the sensation. And we're always moving to a place that's more enjoyable, more pleasant. So if we feel that sensation in our chest, we try and expand that from a small ball to radiate, filling the entire chest cavity throughout our body. But we don't rush these things. We put our attention to it and feel it grow at the speed that it wants to. And if we feel that growth is hard to find, we can then try growing the intensity. We can imagine it like a fire. A fire has both the characteristic of size, but the characteristic of intensity. Just like a fire, we can use our breath to cultivate it. You can imagine breathing in this warm, loving energy. And when we breathe out, we can imagine that warm energy flowing out and permeating our body, whatever works. Some people feel the warm energy coming in through the soles of their feet on the in-breath. Some people find it easy to imagine that warm energy flowing out of the body with the out-breath. And it's fun just to play with these, just to see what works for us. whatever's working, we stick with. If it's not working, we can try something else, as long as we give it a go for a few minutes, just to see if it does work. We don't expect immediate results. We have patience, but we're not afraid to change. We can then change our object of meditation, if we want to a close friend or relative. But we're sticking with something or someone we find easy to love, easy to wish well, easy to bring kindness to, someone that naturally causes us to have that sensation of metta arise in our body. Again, we can turn back to the sensations of the body. we can imagine our whole body is filled with this warm, loving sensation, and you may feel it has a colour, or like a warm glow, or you may feel it has a pulsing quality, and we can investigate, and we find when we investigate it grows. Now we can use all this goodwill that we've brought up to spread to someone that we wouldn't usually do this for. So it may be a co-worker, it may be a distant relative, maybe the regular person who we see in the supermarket who checks our items on the till, someone that we're quite neutral towards. But we're going to extend these kind thoughts. We're going to give this person who are usually quite indifferent to the full weight of this kind feeling, wishing them well, wishing them happiness, wishing them to be at peace, freedom from anxiety, suffering. Wish them to be contented, easily satisfied. So, we'll now extend these kind, warm thoughts to someone who's generally quite difficult, someone we don't see eye to eye with, someone we might have justified or otherwise negative views or opinions of. But we'll put all of that negativity aside and realise they're just like us. They're another person. They're trying to do what's right. They're trying to be a good person. They may be confused about some things, but we're putting that aside and recognising what we have in common, recognising their good qualities, recognising what may be a negative can be interpreted as a positive. If they make comments about us being late for something, we think about how nice it is they value time. If they may have criticised something we've done, it may be because they thought we could do better, but they didn't say it in the most skillful way. We're not looking to fix the most difficult person, either in the world or in our life, but someone that's a little bit of a challenge, that we want to wish them well. We want to wish them happiness. We want to give them the gift of being able to switch off, to relax. Freedom from anxiety. Peace. When we feel that we've done a good job with wishing that person well, we can then bring our attention back into the room. We can enjoy the quiet, we can enjoy the feeling of meditating with others. We can feel that warm energy in the room. And the more we can feel it, the more we receive that energy from the room, the more we give it out. So it's the more we take, the more we give. It multiplies that warm feeling. Like collectively breathing on a fire. So for the last few minutes, we can turn that energy inwards, that loving, forgiving energy inwards, where we enjoy the meanness of being me. We can forgive ourselves for things that we beat ourselves up over, that no one else is really aware of. That voice in our heads that says we're not good enough at this or good enough at that, we can let go of that self-critical mind and just sit with that warm glow. And we wish ourselves happiness. We wish ourselves peace. We wish ourselves freedom from anxiety. We give ourselves permission to to not worry. We may find it uncomfortable to let go of these negative views. We might even think that somehow they're beneficial, or if we don't stop putting ourselves down, we might get big-headed or some sort of nonsense like that. But we're going to let all that go, and we're just going to allow ourselves freedom from worry. Maybe not forever, but we'll try and do it for the next 2 or 3 minutes, just being without a worry for 2 or 3 minutes.